In the late 1800s, there was a major gold rush in the eastern Sierras. Rumor was gold could be found laying all over the ground. In 1927, A.G. Mahan Sr. and his son Arch and several partners purchased several promising claims on Red Mountain, formed the Mammoth Consolidated Mining Company, and began construction of this mining camp. These buildings still retain their original appearance. 4 of these tar paper covered buildings constructed around 1927 to 1931 were used to house the workers. The number of workers in the camp varied as the seasons progressed, but seems to have ranged from 6 to 14. The jobs included cook, assayers, truck drivers, blacksmith, superintendent, and of course the miners. The miners were paid $5.25 per day and charged $1.25 a day for bed and board. It was a good wage for the time, but there wasn't much to spend it on in Mammoth. Mrs. Pemberton was the cook, and she always gave the miners plenty to eat. There isn't much left of the old cookhouse, but in the cookhouse, she gave them coffee, pancakes, fried potatoes, toast with homemade jam, eggs and bacon. She wasn't a very nice lady according to legend, and as you can imagine, no one complained much about her cooking. This pile of rubbish used to be the mine office. The office was destroyed by the tremendous weight of the winter snow. The Mahan cabin was constructed in 1929 from lodgepole pine trees. This log cabin was the summer home of Arch and Gladys Mahan and their family. During the winter months, the Mahan family moved to Southern California, where the weather was more comfortable and the children could attend school. The indoor plumbing, such as the toilet, is a relatively recent addition. Looks to be the remnants of an old car. The assayer's office contained a bunch of chemicals, scales, and other equipment used to determine the gold content of the ore. In the 1940s, avalanches destroyed the wood frame structure that housed the 110 horsepower diesel-fueled engine and the equipment that it powered. The large iron wheels called flywheels were used to maintain a smooth continuous operation of the big single-cylinder engine. The small wooden bull wheel drove a leather belt 20 inches wide that was connected to the largest of the pulleys on the rusty shaft that was supported 12 feet off of the floor. From there, the power was distributed by other belts and pulleys to the various other pieces of machinery to process the ore extracted from the mine. Ore is rock containing metal which can be profitably extracted. Ore from the mine was transported by carts pushed by the miners along the tramway to the processing mill. It was dumped into a large coarse steel grate called a grizzly, which separated the rocks by size. This mine tunnel opening, also known as an adit, is located 9,200 feet above sea level and has been dug about 729 feet horizontally through solid rock, following a rich ore vein. How rich was the ore? The sample taken early in the mine's development indicated 0.6 of an ounce of gold and 1/5 an ounce of silver per ton of rock. That meant about $12.70 per ton at 1927 prices. Well, up here sauntering around in the woods, I think I discovered a Sasquatch lair. All of these tree forts, they're indicative of Sasquatch, and we're in the right part of town for it. So if you're up in these neck of the woods, make sure you keep an eye out. Make sure you wear mosquito juice too, because they're everywhere.